I think he had a lot of pressure on him.
It's like all or nothing, really.
It was just tough for him.
It's not easy to get on, it's not easy to stay on, so.
Because I was sort of in like no man's land.
And a lot of uncertainty doesn't help that, you know.
It's a lot less friendlier.
He was just a bit emotional.
So it's hard decisions. This is all I've wanted to do is play golf. There's just no time for anything else. It's just golf or nothing, really. You put all the work in, you should get something out of it, if you believe in yourself. I think my hardest moment last season was probably towards the mid to end section of the year, because I was sort of in like no man's land. I didn't know what to play in, whether it was Challenge Tour or DP for the order of merit, because you've got to finish in a certain spot to be able to keep some sort of status for next year. I want to play DP because it's like one of the best levels, but then realistically I've got to try and play Challenge Tour to give myself something to play next year. So it's hard decisions.
When you get there, like when you first actually arrive at tournaments, do you generally like check out, like see what other lads are already about and kind of meet up with them, or do you kind of just catch them at the course?
You usually just get your yardage books for the week, and then you just, on Monday I'll probably just do a load of short game, because I'm coming from the last event, so I'll be quite tired. Or if I'm going there after a week off, then I probably won't get there on Monday, I'll probably go on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It was going to be tough to qualify after he missed the cut in KLM by one shot, and you could see he was a bit gutted about it, which he should be, and it was always going to be tough because he was low down on the rankings and he needed those top five, and it just wasn't going to plan for him at that time.
The season, it started well. I feel like you could see that towards the end of the season it was getting hard. It was getting a grind, and a lot of uncertainty doesn't help that, you know. The preparation wasn't great for his events.
What's the ball mark all about?
Yeah, ball mark is something I've had for years, really. Like playing US kids stuff when I was like 10 years old, so 9 years ago now. So it's a nice reminder of all the hours that I put in leading to now, like every hole using a ball marker. So I think every time I'm winding my putt up, it gives me that reminder that I've put the hours in and can commit to everything. The British Masters last year was something I was looking forward to the most, because it's my home event and one of the biggest tournaments that I played, but it just didn't go to plan.
At the British Masters, I think he had a lot of pressure on him. His family being there for the first time, his mum, his dad, his grandma, his brothers. It was just tough for him, and I think he was just a bit emotional because he was just wanting to do his family proud, and unfortunately couldn't.
I felt a lot more disappointed because I had a lot of family watching me, and sort of a little bit embarrassed as well, because I wanted to play well in front of them and show them how well I can play. And it was probably the worst I've played all year, so that wasn't great.
British Masters was a tricky one, really. I think probably an event that he had most of his friends and family at. And yeah, it's a tricky one. I think there's a lot of people there, a lot of pressure. He's a young Brit ultimately playing in what is one of the flagship events, really. Maybe the pressure got to him. Maybe he just wasn't swinging it great. Yeah, there's a lot of factors. There's a lot of factors with it.
You go to the British Masters and you're thinking, yeah, he's going to do well here after a good finish. He knows the course well, and obviously that didn't go to plan. And then you're quite stuck, really, because you got Challenge Tour or DP Tour. DP, you're miles behind where you need to be. You need 250 points or whatever, and Challenge Tour, you've not got much ranking points either because you've been playing DP, so it's quite tough.
A disastrous home event for Berry, tied 150 seconds. Inevitably, questions will be asked after that performance.
We had a sit down and a chat, and just sort of said it might be worth considering just finishing the year out on Challenge Tour, just because it was a better way for him to be, to make a card up. It was looking likely that to do that on the DP, he'd have had to have won or finished second. It's not an easy thing to do.
Midway through the season last year, you're sort of looking at the Race to Dubai rankings, knowing that you're a long way off where you need to be, because you need around 450 points to keep your status for the next year. And if you go through the tournaments, to get 450 points, you need some high-end results. You need a couple of top 5 finishes, and you need to play well. I was sort of looking back and seeing how many tournaments I'm going to get into, and sort of trying to work out what I need to do. And I was going to get into the European Masters in Switzerland, but I decided to play the Challenge Tour to try and get myself up the rankings there.
He said that it was probably a good idea to focus on one of the tours. You kind of get lost in a bit of no man's land at some point. So it was the right thing to do at the time. He did play some events after that. I think he ended up going to Korea for the last event to try and make a card up, which would have meant he'd have had to have won.
Korea was my last chance on the schedule to either finish top 3 and keep my playing rights for the next year, or I'd have to go to qualifying school and have my final chance. So this is it. I've either got to play well or I'm struggling for the next year. So it's all or nothing, really.
Well, it was a long shot, but it's confirmed Josh Berry will need to head back to Q School in order to retain his card for next year.
That didn't go as planned in Korea, but I took a lot from that week and practiced really hard on the weekend and got my game in a good position for the second stage of qualifying school, which was the next week.
How was the jet lag?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's long travels, but we're here now, aren't we?
Korea. Some trip, mate. Some trip.
Yeah.
Ready for it then?
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, I think after that 15-hour plane journey, I've had time to reflect on it now.
Yeah, good. All right. Well, we go again, don't we?
Yeah,
Stage
definitely.
2. Have you played this course?
No, never played the course, but I've played a lot in Spain, so I know what it's about.
Me too.
Similar grass.
Yeah, mindset.
Yeah.
You know what you want to do.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think just go there and with some confidence of I've had a good weekend now to practice and work on my game, so I can go there with some good swing feels and try and play well. I think a key thing with a Q school is just to try and win the stage rather than trying to finish in the top 20, because if you focus on top 20, you can struggle, can't you? And always
exactly.
Be.
Well, you're playing defensive, aren't you?
Yeah.
I think if you just keep pushing and keep pressing, that's the way to go in it. So
yeah,
well, I like that, mate. That's good. Is George meeting you there?
Yeah, George will meet me there next week because he weren't caddying last week because it was so late notice.
Yeah,
so he's going to meet me there next week, and
perfect.
Yeah, we'll have the dream team back in action.
Exactly. Hopefully the lucky charm can work again. Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
If you're trying to play for a top 20, it's just not the way to go, is it? So let's like step on it.
Yeah.
And just be aggressive and go for everything. Be positive.
Yeah, definitely. I think definitely try and feed off last year's performance and go into a course. Well, the final stage, I know I've just got to get through the second stage.
Yeah.
It's four good rounds of golf. Try and shoot under par every round and finish as high up as possible.
Yeah, it's a marathon, mate, isn't it? You know that it's like a long game, innit? It's not.
Yeah.
You know, if you have one bad round, it doesn't completely ruin everything. Do you know what I mean? You can still keep it going, and there'll be
definitely.
So it is a marathon of a run now, innit? And you've been there, you've done it.
Yeah, so Q School's probably the hardest part of golf, really. It's 14 rounds of really tough golf, and you've got to shoot under par in every round, or you've got no chance, really. And coming off the back of not a great year, it's quite hard to go and play well.
So if I didn't qualify for the DP World Tour schedule, I would have been playing like a limited schedule on the Challenge Tour, so maybe 20 events on the Challenge Tour. But when I've been playing the DP the year before, you've just got your eyes set on that. It's like a Premier League footballer playing Championship the next year. They're not going to be very happy about it.
It was do or die, really. Like if he didn't make it, he wouldn't have had much to play in, and he'd probably got 10 starts on the Challenge Tour this year. And there's nothing really there unless you're earning top fives and earning a bit of cash, because there's no money on Challenge Tour, really.
In golf, it's a hard game, so you've just got to be a realist and just make the most of what you've got.
So this is it. Last chance saloon for the season. Finish in the top 25 and you secure your place on the DP World Tour next year. Nothing like a bit of pressure.
I didn't really know if I was going to be able to play professional golf the next year, so
it's man versus man, really. You've just got to be cutthroat and just knuckle down.
You've always got to back yourself. You feel like you're not far away, but obviously you know deep down what you need to do to be there.
It was a massive moment for him, really. You could tell that he was really up for it.
I was doing absolutely fine, and then the fifth round, I think I shot one over, so it put me back a little bit.